Welcome back, world. Thank you for joining me again on another vlog. I am Byron from ByronSellers.com, and you are now tuning in to vlog number 5. First of all, first and foremost, I wanted to thank you for taking the time out to listen to me. And if you listen to any of the past vlogs, again, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it. And also, hey, leave that feedback below. I really need that. But today, I want to come to you regarding the topic of what holds us back. Yes, the many things that a lot of us, we sit there and say, man, what holds me back? Now, for this vlog, I wanted to kind of give you a brief background on me, my backstory, and when I really dealt with that question, like, what's holding me back, and all the excuses that I had of what was holding me back. So I remember, let's reverse back to when I was 21 years old. I graduated out of college, and that was the thing. I was a first generation guy out of school, having a degree, and like many of us, if you graduated college, or if you're in college right now, that thought is, it's like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get a job and I'm gonna move up the corporate ladder, and before you know it, I'm gonna be CEO. That's just the goal. That's you're young, you got a lot of ambition, and you're ready to roll, right? But the reality sets in. Well, anyway, to go back, like I said, I was 21, and luckily, right out of school, I got a job with a Fortune 500 company. And, I remember my first salary, man, it was $37,500. I'm thinking like, oh my God, I never experienced $1,000 check in my life. Like, I'm rich. I lived at home, and it was, I'm thinking like, this is it, So now you're talking about, I got my job, and now I'm questing for that American dream. Like, it's going to come to full fruition. So I remember getting a job, and money started rolling in. Like I said, I started getting my first $1,000 plus check. So I'm going shopping. I can buy. I don't have to ask my mother for money anymore, and I'm living at home too. And the funny thing, let's talk about this. I remember my dad had told me. He said, "Hey man, at least give your mama $200 a month." I'm thinking like, $200? Are you crazy? Like, that's a lot of money. Little do I know, again, living rent free. And they just asked for $200. The ungrateful part of me. So I got the job, and then with 3 months into my job, I got almost my dream car. As a kid, I always wanted a Cadillac. I went and got a brand new Cadillac. So here I am, 21. Actually 22 because I just turned 22. Cadillac. And I graduated, ahead of from my friends from college. So a lot of my friends were still in school, so I'm going back. So it's like, man, we see B, like, okay, like, yeah, this is how it's going to be when we graduate. Now, mind you, I graduated in 2007. So you guys remember the recession and everything in 2008, 2009. So then a year and a half later, guess what? I went and got my own apartment. I was eager to go out, right? But guess what? At this time, I wasn't saving. I was just spending money, doing whatever I wanted to do because that's what I thought that, hey, I didn't really necessarily have the training. So I got my own apartment. And again, vacations, clothes. I was, they say, fresh to death. And I'm just chasing women, and I'm a guy, I'm a young, so of course I got a little money to flash, and that's what I thought it was, right? So fast forward 5 years, things got big to my head, and like I said, money, just spending money, not saving anything like that, lost my job. So now, guess what? I got excuses. The man held me back. That they didn't want me to be great. And now, I'm still big-headed. I lose my job, and I'm still spending money. I didn't even go apply for unemployment. I'm still spending money that, of course I had saved a little bit, but I'm thinking like, oh, whatever, I'm taking a trip, whatever, I'll bounce right back. This is the perfect time. It's a blessing. Well, guess what? times got hard. So I had to scavenge for a job, and in that meantime, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The next 3 years, rough, rough. That image, that whole everything that I was trying to portray, I was still chasing that. Why? Because of because of people, and I felt not only, like I said, I felt that job held me back because it was like, oh wow, they let me go, and I want to get to that stature, but in that meantime, that 3 years, man, it was rough. In that 3 years, I had three different jobs. One that I'm currently at now, and I saw a lot of ups and downs, right? In that meantime, so I even tried like to be an entrepreneur one time. I remember I was selling hookah bottles. They were liquor bottles that we turned to hookah bottles. And the guy made them, looked awesome, and I'm like, you know what, man, we can make some money off this. Yeah, money's on my mind, not my passion. I don't really care about hookahs. And I'm out here, I'm trying to flood it. I'm doing Instagram. I remember I created a website that I never finished, word of mouth. And I remember like, man, I'm going to make, my vision, I'm going to make $100,000 off these. Wasn't passionate about it. My partner really wasn't producing it at this space. And it just didn't work out, right? So, like I said, fast forward. And like I said, I've been at my current job now 3 years. And again, when you work out, I started bouncing back and things started getting a little bit better. And again, it was just like, you see things and I'm like, wow, I'm not where I want to be in life. I was not happy. And, I thought maybe, hey, those last, 3 years of struggling, that held me back. I was thinking, again, I'm still chasing women. So I'm like, yo, I'm not to say an excuse, but I'm trying to keep up the Joneses. I'm thinking, these women is comforting the time that I was spending with when I was dating and things like that. Man, it was, again, I look back at it, that was holding me back because it was precious time, but not to say an excuse because I controlled that, right? So another thing that held me back was comparison. Comparison, yes. I looked at TV, I looked at social media, I looked at all of these things that I felt that that's where I should be at. And again, you haven't heard me say this, comparison is one of the biggest self-violences because I was comparing myself to people that put in the work. They put in that grind, they put in that everything to get where they were, and I wanted what they wanted, instant gratification. But guess what? I didn't put that work in. But I was feeling down. Almost feeling to the point I was depressed. As I talked about in some of my last vlogs, I actually vlogs. I actually, had an addiction. Nothing major, none of that stuff. But to the addiction to something that's actually becoming legal now, but still, it was an addiction. Why? To get away from that time. Countless time. And for those who's dib and dab and let's say some Mary Jane, you might do it. That takes time because you might not be your most productive. So again, a lot of excuses, but basically what took me, I had to start doing those research. I mean, I got to the point I remember a guy, and it was actually a guy who I never would have thought. I remember he introduced me to Rich Dad Poor Dad. He was on my heels about like, did you read that book yet? I'm like, I'm gonna read it. He's like, you're not serious about it. I'm like, man, I'm not serious. He was like, you're not serious about really making money. Because at the time I was looking at real estate. I wanted to finally get something. And so I finally got the book and I read it. Light bulb went on. Like, man, you learn things. And then that's when I start searching for knowledge and I start reading a lot of material that kind of start catapulting me in the mindset of now of can't make these excuses. And I started realizing what I was doing with my time was not resourceful to where I wanted to go in life. So I started developing all of my bad habits of chasing the women, the Mary Jane, hanging out for hanging out sakes, trying to keep up with the Joneses, taking my money and trying to look like I have money instead of investing my money in something that can better me and put me where I want to be at. I really had to do a transformation, and it took time. It took growth. Like growth, I had to give up one thing at a time. It wasn't just I snapped and then everything just happened. No, it took time, and some things it was harder than the others, but I was able to use that willpower, which we all have. We all have willpower. Again, what was holding me back may be different from what may be holding you back. Just a real short backstory on what was holding me back. So the question is, what holds you back? So I don't know everybody's situation, but I know the number one thing that we all might say we can agree on is time. Time. We might say, hey, man, I don't have time to read. I don't have time to try to pick up or really find my passion. I don't have time. I just don't have. How do you find the time in your day? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this: if you're watching this, and time isn't necessarily something that you feel that you don't really have a lot of, and you're too busy to kind of go after your goals and your dreams. How many hours a day do you watch TV? How much time do you spend on social media? How much time do you may just listen to music, songs that you may have heard over and over and over that you know the words? How are those things benefiting you and getting you closer to your goals and dreams? So the biggest thing that helped me, because I remember I used to play video games with my buddy all the time, and a lot of things in my downtime, I knew I should have been doing something else. But I knew I had to replace those habits with something else. So a challenge for you, think about the things in your time that you know that's holding you back, and look at how you can re-engineer and replace them with positive things. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. You're just not going to replace it, and then tomorrow you're going to stop watching TV for 2 hours and you're going to do this. No, take steps, baby steps. Go ahead, like climbing up the ladder. Take the baby steps until it grows as a habit, so you can start doing those things. So, again, something else, like I said, addiction. Some of you may be watching this and you may have an addiction to whatever it is: cigarettes, coffee, marijuana, stronger addictions. Again, go get help. Go get help with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If you can beat it by yourself, cool. But then replace that time. Go do something productive. Go to the gym. Whenever you want to have some, go to the gym or something. You want to have a cigarette or something, go take a walk. Go get the patch. Go get things that helps you, or go around people that helps you break those addictions to, again, start replacing that stuff with that time that you can do better things. Also, people might say another person. People might be like, hey, man, I'll deal with this person, my boyfriend, or my girlfriend, or, my friends. Okay, if that person is causing that much time and is useless time, either A, try to get them to understand that you have, what you're trying to do with your time. If that person, and they don't understand that, then you have to separate yourself. It's not to say you just close the door completely, but you really have, and then they'll see that. They'll still see those steps. And some people, don't get me wrong, you're going to have the haters. You're going to have the people, the naysayers. Why do you want to do this? Well, you may not do this. Okay? You don't necessarily need that negativity. Replace those people with people that's on the same goals and intentions that you have to help you with things that you feel is holding you back. Because guess what? Those people will understand. Most people that are on the path or chasing their goals, the dream chasers and the people that are really successful, they knew that at one point they were really like that. We all face the same problems at one point. Some problems bigger than the others, but we all face problems. But they knew how to redirect that energy and turn it into a positive. Okay? Even just say children. Sometimes, listen, we have children. And I would hate to say you have children that's holding you back, and you do have responsibilities, okay? But I'm going to give you an example. Look at an athlete, an entertainer, an actor. And then this is just, people in the limelight. But guess what? Many of them have children, but they're still able to fulfill their parent duties while at the same time being able to be successful in their career. It's successful lawyers, doctors. It's people that's followed that's have their own businesses. Whatever they do, they still find the time. So don't let that be an excuse. Do not let that be an excuse of what's holding you back. My child is holding me back. Why don't you groom your child to go to start, on those paths to be great, because you are great. So, and again, I know I said time was number one, but another thing, fear. Yes, fear. And that was one thing that held me back for the longest. I was scared of the result. I was scared. I thought about everything that could go wrong instead of what could go right. And again, it could take over you. And it held me. And I feel that's what I was escaping. I was scared of the things that, may go wrong, what people may say. I was nervous of doing it wrong. I wanted everything to be perfect. And nothing on this world is perfect. We're not perfect. So you can't expect anything to be perfect. And what is it to be scared of? It is tough. It won't. But just think about it every day. Just look in the mirror and say, hey, what is it to be scared of? Why should I fear success? Success should be great, right? So, again, I just wanted to bring this vlog to you. Kind of went over the time that I wanted to do, but listen. We have a lot of things that can really hold us back. But don't let those things be factors. Learn how to replace them with the positive energy to help you out. Because you got it inside. You definitely have it inside. We all have it inside. But it's about bringing it out. Bringing the beast out. All right? Excuse me. Because we're all great. And I cannot repeat how great you are. And you know that you're great. But, you may have some excuses. So, what's holding you back? You know what? Write it down. Write down what's holding you back. Look at it. See how you can make those changes. And let's go ahead. It's the beginning of the year. And we're going to make some changes. So, hey, thank you for tuning in to the vlog. This is vlog number 5. If you can, please leave a comment. Let me know. Again, if you like it, if you don't like it, hit the like button, share. That's all I ask is share. If you could do me one favor, please share. And coming again, 2017, more material. Thank you for listening. I am Byron Sellers, and from ByronSellers.com. Thank you again. Salute.